Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 219 for April the 12th, 2024. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello.
And on my upper left by Dave.
Hello.
I don't know how that works with the cameras.
Well, your right is Dave, and your lower right is me on the screen.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Obviously.
I don't care. How is everyone? All right?
Yes. Not bad.
Yeah.
Good.
Glad the week's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, nice weather coming towards us this weekend.
Oh, that's good. We've had a lot of rain.
Hopefully it means it's not. Oh, mate. It's like the last 6 months at least. It's just rained, it feels like.
Yeah, we've had a lot.
I know one of my work colleagues was in Cornwall. I saw her today for the first time in a couple of weeks. Oh, you've been away? She's like, yeah, I went to Cornwall. I was like, oh, that's nice. She went, no, not really. I was like, oh. She said, yeah, we had the storm. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, they had a big,
yeah, we didn't really get anything at all around here, and it was just like absolutely slashing it down, apparently, in Cornwall for like, I don't know, 2 days or whatever.
I mean, I can go to places and I can deal with weather. But if you go away and it's miserable, that's and it
Rain's
starts to break your spirit. That's
cold is cold and warm, too hot, too cold. Whatever.
Dry. If it's dry,
rain's just shit.
Out and about. Rain does really, literally put a damper on things, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, welcome to the Old Men Moaning podcast.
That's the new name, is it? Finally decided on a new name.
Yeah, we should just finally accept and move on, shouldn't we? I'm sure.
Midlife crisis.
I tell you what, I would never do that. If you search for Old Men Moaning podcast, the amount that will probably turn up. I mean, it's yeah. We're not going to change.
I've been trying to solve the problem of the YouTube Seal podcast thing, because I did a few searches like, it's just some random dudes that aren't called Seal Podcast keep coming up because they're used to be in the fucking Navy SEALs. Big them, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, not even in it anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I just is there. I don't know. Do we care that much?
Well, there's things that apparently if you tag on your videos with your natural name, then might help with searches. It's like, right, okay, so I'm just doing bits and bobs to try and help.
I would imagine that, though, most people is referrals, right? People just going, I listen to this podcast. Here you go. You should listen to it as well, right? I don't think anybody...
If you were looking for a Navy SEALs podcast and you found this, you'd be massively disappointed. Let's be honest.
I like the fact that at the start of the Veteran Gamers that he says, we are not veterans of the...
We're not
military type. We're not military veterans. I was thinking
How many times have you heard that and you don't know what he says?
Well,
they've only done 700 odd episodes.
Something like that. He hasn't said it for that many. But it's a few.
They're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yeah. They've been doing it for 16 years or something now.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Or incredibly sad.
5.
Depends how you look at it.
5, right?
Yeah. Apart from the approximately 6 months that we haven't done it in that time, I guess. Judging by the Garcast numbers and our numbers.
It's not that many.
No,
anyway.
It was exaggerating.
Okay, let's move on then to some listener stuff, shall we? Shall we?
Yeah.
There is some listener stuff this week. Paul W. says, have you watched any of the new Fallout TV series? I'm currently 2.5 episodes in. 2.5. Okay. In my opinion, it is pure quality. Even those people who have never heard of Fallout should find it to be an excellent sci-fi show full of mystery, action, and intrigue. Ooh. Well, I was trying to watch it last night. I didn't really get much enthusiasm from my son, although I think he will watch it. But I understand that it is that good that maybe I should take the opportunity to watch it with my wife. So I might do that.
I watched the first episode and I was like, this is very good. Because she was going off for a bath or whatever. She was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going to watch this. She was like, I'm going for a bath then. So, okay. And I watched it. I was like, it's not really her thing, but it's good enough maybe that she might watch it at least. I was like, well, maybe you should just watch the first episode and see if you like it. And then when we watch it together, otherwise I'm just going to watch it myself. But yeah, I've only watched the first one. But I was like, this, like I said before, I've always liked the vibe Fallout, but never got into the games. But this was like, this is kind of my thing. I was like, yeah, I like this. This is the stories. I don't have to do any fucking work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
So-
me and the wife have watched it, and we watched 2 episodes. I could have smashed through them all today, to be honest. But I'm
Okay. Well, there's a recommendation.
yeah, I love Fallout. And I think they've done it a really good service. Both if you like the Fallout series and if you don't like the Fallout series. Like the missus never played a game, doesn't really know what it's about, but she's loving it at the moment.
It's
Not only is it a
very
good
much
sort of-
like having watched Silo on Apple TV a little while ago. I was a bit like, it's not the same, obviously, but it's definitely like it feels a bit odd. Like this is the OG kind of thing for
Right.
us as gamers. if you
Yeah,
like.
she did say it seems a lot like Silo. I was like, no, Silo was a lot like this.
Yeah, yeah. But there was also, I swear, there was another program that came out, and I was like, I didn't watch it, but it was really similar.
Right.
Can't fucking think what it's called. I don't think it's like it's quite brutal at points. This one, ultra violent, and
That's
not-
okay.
yeah. Well, I say ultra violent. That's like compared to normal TV. I guess it's ultra violent, but it's not that bad so far, at least.
Depends how they're pulling it off, right? I mean,
yeah.
there's sort of like there's.
Oh, there was
what I
definitely
would
some
maybe-
pulling limbs off.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe we would call that sort of schlocky violence, right? You know, it's.
Yeah. It wasn't Renfield levels of comedy ultra violence.
No.
Put it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one's pretty hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so-
yeah. So hopefully, I'm gonna watch that sometime over the weekend if I can.
It's only 8
some
episodes,
time.
so you know.
Amazon Prime has adverts now. I heard. Is that right?
It didn't have any adverts when I watched it, so I'm not saying anything there. I'm
Right.
not complaining. I'm paying my normal price. I'm not paid extra for a non-advert. So it was just like, oh,
All right.
I don't remember getting any adverts. That was weird.
Okay.
So
Paul has another bit at the end here. Now that the Fallout TV show has been made, do you think there might be other Bethesda games turned into shows, such as Elder Scrolls, Ghostwire, or maybe even Deathloop?
I think Todd Howard's definitely ruled out Elder Scrolls. I read somewhere earlier. He was like, "No," but I don't know. I didn't. I just literally read like headlines kind of thing, like because Todd Howard says there won't be an Elder Scrolls TV show. I was like, oh, who cares?
I can't imagine Deathloop
It's
or
Game of Thrones.
Ghostwire. I can't imagine Deathloop or Ghostwire are big enough IPs.
But you don't
carry it.
need to be a big IP. Like it could be a much bigger TV show than it is a video game. You never know, do you? Like there's good ideas in games that don't necessarily work as games. I haven't played either of those really. Like definitely,
Yeah.
Bits of Concept's pretty cool. I could see that being an interesting TV show or movie. Well, probably a movie. To be honest, they could probably smash that out in 90 minutes to 2 hours as a movie. But and get the gist of it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't see them though. Fallout is pretty huge.
Yeah.
But it does come out pretty like there's a lots of like if you've played the games, even as someone like me who hasn't played a lot of them, it's like that's obviously from the game and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Fallout has a very recognizable. Like if you said to me, put a picture of something from Deathloop in front of me, I had no idea what that is.
Yeah.
If you put Ghostwire in front, I had no idea. Elder Scrolls, possibly, but even then, I might go.
Generic
is that
fantasy
you know?
game, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is that Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
But Fallout, all you need is a bit of blue and yellow, and you're there, right?
And a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little. I've got a little bobblehead
Did you?
like
Oh,
they
I
have in
heard.
the show. There's like they tap the pat. Oh yeah, very funny. Yeah, I've got one of the ones that's in the TV show.
Awesome.
In the early part of the game, you like taps one of the things on the head. It's got some big
Yeah.
names in there. Well, a big name at least. I'm not sure I recognised anyone other than Carl McLaughlin, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely
Good.
a
All right.
strong start for sure.
Yes. Yes, so I'm hearing. All right, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Kinzit has sent something in. Wise old elf says, in anticipation of a late charge back up the Fantasy Football League, just wondering which side of the transatlantic rivalry I sit. I'm originally from leafy Maidenhead, which Fraser probably knows well. I do. Then the past 4 years in the true north in Toronto. I know that well too. And he says, now living in Nashville, Tennessee. Loving the show as always. Fraser's arch nemesis.
Depends where he finishes, I
Uh,
guess. And is he talking about a late run up the league from you or something? Or is it...
well, he's still ahead of me, I think, isn't he, in the
Yeah.
league?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
interesting
doing
though,
okay.
David. I didn't know David was from Maidenhead, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, he knows I'm from Windsor, so
Is
we were
it cool?
neighbours.
Maidenhead? Doesn't sound cool.
It's not as
Maidenhead.
cool as Windsor, but I know it well. And then in Toronto as well, so it's sort of following
That's
each other
cold.
around. That's pretty cool. Not this year, it hasn't been.
Oh.
I wonder why.
Mm.
What's going on?
Some sort of
and then
conspiracy, no doubt.
now in Tennessee,
That
where
doesn't
Alan
sound
Shearer
cold.
was last week.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so behind on everything. My podcast, it's a nightmare.
Oh, well, you must have had a ton of them on the go, eh?
I did have. I've got a long list of like. I just keep going. I guess I'll set that to play then, because I'm never going to get around to listening to this.
I just need to see. All I do is I get one, maybe 2 days of having to drive into Toronto or something, with 3/4 of an hour each way. And I came through all my podcasts for the week. And I
Do you
left
have
with
them on like
nothing to
triple
listen.
speed or something?
No, but I don't listen to that many. But it's like you say, you settle into a routine, right? Of
Yeah.
what you can fit into your whatever.
There was weeks
I
I
have
was
about
running
4.
out of podcasts, and I was like, "That's totally not happening anymore."
No.
What was I doing? I was playing a video game the other day with podcast. So I was like, "Oh, this is how I could consume some podcasts." I think I was just lapping on Gran Turismo,
Right.
and I just had a podcast playing in the background, so I can just like.
You know what you should do? You should get an exercise bike, and you could podcast,
What the
exercise, and play Gran Turismo all at the same time.
Why would I want to do that?
Exercise?
I get exercise.
More
Fucking busted.
exercise?
Broken.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
So anyway, we didn't actually answer.
Why? What was the question?
The question
No,
was
I'm listening. I'm
where
not
is he
listening
come?
to that guy.
Which side of the transatlantic rivalry does he sit on? If he
Well, I
beats
can't.
all of you, then he's obviously British.
It's not
And
a
if he does-
question, is it? He just says he's wondering which side of the transatlantic
Oh, right.
rivalry he sits. I mean, it's nice.
Okay, well, that sort of suggests that maybe what some feedback from us. I don't know, as we're in the.
I'll tell you what side of the transatlantic rivalry you sit on. Anti-American. That's the one. Right?
So
we're up against it. We're up against the invasion from the Americans.
He's in America now.
He's our man in the South.
Right.
Or my South.
Where is Tennessee?
Speaking of, look who's piped it after him. It's my buddy brother from another mother. It's Lewis. I think it depends on how much Tennessee whiskey you've drunk. There's an amount that makes you automatically an American for these purposes, if I recall correctly.
Which one's Tennessee? That's JD? Is that
JD,
Tennessee?
yeah.
Yeah, that's not good stuff, is it? It's not good stuff. Tennessee.
It's not
I
bad.
don't know, I'm
Kentucky.
sure you
Kentucky's
can-
the good stuff, isn't it?
I'm sure you get, isn't that like the wild turkey sort of stuff, right?
Bourbons.
Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not my drink. Never has been.
Yeah. Cup of tea these days, isn't it?
Yeah, but even back when I was a drinker, I had never liked whiskey. My dad's
Can't call Jack Daniels whiskey. It's not really whiskey.
I just remember smelling whiskey on my dad when I was younger. I was just like, that is disgusting. That drink is the most disgusting.
He was probably drinking Bells or something fucking horrible.
Yeah, probably. No,
My
he wouldn't have
granddad
drunk
used
that.
to drink Famous Grouse a lot, and I was like, oh. I thought that was
think my
nice until I
dad-
looked at him and went, ugh.
My dad would probably be drinking the Macallans or a Johnny Walker. I
Oh,
think.
fancy shit.
Yeah, probably not every day. The daily driver was probably something like a Belgian, right? I don't know.
White and Mackay's or whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Thanks, guys. Great to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're all chipping in with some fantasy football bants. It's great.
Yes.
Mint Safe, friend of the show, says, "What's Dave going to name the puppies?" Hasn't Fraser? What's Dave got? A couple of questions here. What's Dave going to name the puppies?
So, first one is going to be Puppy 1.
Right.
And Puppy 2.
And Puppy
3.
2?
And then Puppy 4.
Is this
and then maybe 5.
Was this how many we know how many we're having now?
So we think we're having 4, maybe 5.
Right.
So I've specifically said to the girls, we are not naming the puppies until we know which one we're having, because we're going to keep one. and then that's
Oh,
going to
yeah, yeah.
be it's going to be something like, I don't know. The
How
girls are
long
going
do you have
call
to
it
have them before you can pass them on?
8 weeks.
8 weeks? Oh, see, it's going to be difficult not to name them after 8 weeks, isn't it?
So
Come on here, one. Come on, one.
so, so we're going to
And then one of us is going to be called Matilda or something.
So what's the big dragon dog thing from Neverending Story?
You can't remember, mate. It's a long time since I watched that film.
I have no idea.
The dragon dog thing. I like that description though, because it did look. Its head is of a dog,
Yeah.
massive, long, weird, snake-like dragon body. Did it even have
Neverending,
wings? I can't even remember it having proper wings.
dog thing.
Dog thing from Neverending. Good job. Neverending Story is a nice, easy, short title to type into Google as well.
Bastion. No.
Bastion.
Falcor. That's a boy's name, isn't it?
Dunno.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be something stupid like that. Like.
Well, the one you're going to keep.
Yeah. I don't have naming rights on the dog.
What's your dog called?
Mine's at the moment Lilo
Lilo.
from Lilo and Stitch.
So surely, has Lilo got kids? I don't know. Or is Stitch like her kid, effectively, de facto?
Nah. Lilo's the girl
Yes,
from
I remember.
Lilo and Stitch, not the Stitch is the
Stitch is
monster
the
thing.
weird alien.
Yeah, so she does have a sister, but I can't remember her name.
She's older.
An older sister, yeah. So, but I don't know. So yeah, no, it's I think it's
Scoob?
whose turn is it? I think it's
I don't know.
Bella's turn to name it, but it's gonna be we're gonna keep hopefully if we're gonna keep a girl, and then yeah, but yeah, exciting times.
Naming will come.
Naming will come. It's gonna be a stupid name though.
It's going to be one that
Min-
does something stupid, so it obviously has to have a stupid name.
Like yeah.
Mintsafe also says, hasn't Fraser bought any more speakers lately? No. Have you
been banned by your wife?
I've not been banned. I've pretty much reached saturation point. I don't need any more. If anything, I've got about 2 pairs I need to get rid of.
Not sitting on them yet.
But you can see one of the pairs behind me here. This is a pair of Energy. I can't remember. These are Energy C2s, I think. I can't remember. I don't need them, but they're really nice. And I got them for a song. And I'll just, huh?
Are they connected to anything?
No, that's a system.
Just for show.
That system's not connected up to anything. And then underneath this bed here, I have a pair of Boston Acoustics A60s, I think they are, which I can't get rid of because I just love them so much. But I don't use them. I have no use for them.
Much you keep them under your bed.
They're just there. They'll come out at some point. So I don't need any more speakers. If I saw, if I did happen to see a really nice pair for a good price, I might be swayed.
You won't be able to resist.
But I really don't need anything. I'm literally at a point now where I just don't need.
I'm not sure you needed the last 5 or 6 pairs of speakers.
No, but at the same time, I've calmed down. Right, that sort of Fraser's obsession has just started to peter off a little bit.
It's like tantric speaker buying now, is it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I don't know what it means either.
Have you? Are you still trawling the sites for like search words, speakers?
No.
In your area, like.
No, right now every day I search on stuff to do with my DJ setup. So now I'm looking at if I see any good deals.
Really big fucking speakers.
No more speakers. No more speakers. Just things like either decent rack-mounted components that I might be able to use in my setup, or I'm looking for other CDJs, possibly by upgrading if I see a good deal on a pair. But right now, nothing's really popping up, so I'm not too bothered.
You got a right turntables?
No,
like real,
not interested.
No, not at all.
I mean,
you got a load of vinyl there.
I have some vinyl, but it's not really. I haven't kept a lot of my mixing vinyl. Not beat matching vinyl, so I'm not really overly concerned. Technics, and I'd only really want Technics, and they're so expensive now. It's just outrageous.
Imagine someone found one in a charity shop for like 150 quid. Be like, fuck,
I'm sure that people do, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm not really. And
would you feel bad buying a ridiculously expensive turntable from a charity shop for like a stupidly low price? Would you be like going up to them and saying,
No,
you should really sell this for $1,000?
No chance, mate. I would not lose a minute's sleep over it whatsoever, because the next person along will do the same thing, right?
Mm.
Yeah, did I never tell you about the speakers I bought from the Christian charity store?
Well, they're Christians.
I got them for like about $5 each, and then sold them on eBay for I think $200.
Oh,
So
straight to hell for you.
maybe. I mean, they got my money, didn't they? You know, I shopped there. They're closed
Yeah.
now. They went bust, I think.
Well, I wonder why.
I don't know. Anyway, moving along. Mint Safe seems
How does
like
charity shop go bust?
anyway, Mint Safe said, well, I mean, they moved on, right? I'm sure.
They made their money and fucking
I don't
bought
think
their
they.
mansion.
I think even if I was not going to save them. I think the rents are just too high. They have all the best intentions in the world, but you don't get the foot traffic, you're done, right?
True.
Anyway, he says, "Cheers, guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mint Safe.
Thank you.
Much appreciated." All right. We've talked about Fallout TV.
Yes. Don't need
If
to
we
talk
go
about
out to
that.
what we've been doing, can I just can I hand it over to Dave? Sorry, I know I've got to just make. My day isn't stopping. I've just got to make. I've got to just do something for work. I'll only be hopefully only 5 minutes. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Dave and Neil just for a minute, and I'll be back.
Wow, this is rude.
I know.
It's got no respect for our listeners, this one.
So I was talking about it earlier and if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you probably see my room looks slightly different because I've had a big sort out. So the room that I'm in at the moment, I've moved from the back area to the front now, and then what will happen is I've still got a desk and a chair back there that I'm getting rid of. I'll sort of move everything around, and then setting up a whelping box for Lilo.
What?
So when a dog goes into labour, or the process of the pregnancy and birthing, it's called whelping.
Is that because of the sound they make?
Probably, yeah. Poor thing. So yeah, getting a whelping box. It's basically an area where the dogs give birth and the babies can sort of be safe, and it's got a bar around the side so she, like, Lilo won't lie on the puppies on accident. And I've got to get some lino, put that down on the floor.
Do you need someone like a specialist there to deliver the pups?
I am the specialist.
Or have you been trained?
So, yes and no. Yeah, we've been to the vets and everything, gone through that, spoke about it. You don't really need, unless there's a problem, and like I've got a list of all the things that could be problems. The first puppy takes a couple of hours to be delivered. If she's going through labour, and you can quite often tell when she's going through labour, if she hasn't sort of delivered within the 6 hours, then call the vet. There's lots of things like if this happens, call the vet. If this doesn't happen,
they kind of just do it themselves, do they? Basically,
they kind of do that. The first time mothers, might need a little bit of assistance, and sort of not encouragement, but sort of someone there.
Back rubbing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So some dogs, don't want that. Don't want anybody to around, but Lilo's, she's very comfortable with me. So hopefully, I'm going to keep the sofa in here. I'm just going to turn it around, and then it can take 24 hours.
Holy shit.
Sometimes. So to be honest, I might just sort of sleep down here, and be with her. The only problem, well, not one of the problems, the room has to be about 28 to 30 degrees.
Oof, that's fucking warm.
So yeah. So I've got a heater.
So you'll have to stop playing RimWorld and start playing more like Dragon's Dogma or whatever to get the PC a bit warmer.
Yeah. So luckily this room does get quite warm quite quickly. It's not the biggest room, so. But yeah, you're right. I might have to crank up
some Cyberpunk on. Play some Cyberpunk.
That's
or
it.
something,
Yeah.
Max setting
I might,
Cyberpunk. Seen more
yeah, I
much in
might
there.
have to get a 4K monitor just so I can
Yeah,
crank
really
it up.
heat that bad boy up.
Um, so yeah, so that's it. There's just a lot of stuff to do with that really. This week. And then yeah, like with the weather being nice the last couple of days. I've got the lawnmower out
Ooh.
and the hedge trimmers out and the fact that it's a bit lighter after work at the moment. I'm being roped into doing work in the garden.
Raw work.
Yeah.
Did I tell you
So
about
yeah,
my purchase the
I've
other week? I don't think
go
I've
on.
talked
No, I
about
don't
it.
think so.
I
Go on.
talked about the fucking neighbour's ivy problem, didn't I?
You
A
said
few
about
weeks
it,
ago,
yeah.
and how it was
Yeah, you
getting
said
a
it was like trying to
fucking
get over
take the
to your
piss.
yes.
Yeah. So I bought a thing to try and cut it down. I bought like a tree
Like
lopper.
a tree lopper. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
with
it's
a
like
with a
an
thing on it.
extendable
Yeah.
pole, like with a
Yep.
pulley, and like I pulled a rope, and it does a little stop.
Yep.
And it's got like a bit. I haven't put the saw, but you can put like a saw blade on as well to like give it a cut through
Yeah.
the big branches and stuff. But I haven't done that. But it goes quite long. But yeah, fuck me. That I was hanging out my boy's window on the top floor, fucking chopping a big chunks of that fucking motherfucker off. But yeah, there's so much of it, and it just grows so quick. It's so annoying.
You not accidentally like get their telephone line or something. Oh, sorry, I was
I'm
cutting
worried that
down
I
the
might cut my
ivy.
fucking satellite cable more than anything. Like trying to reach up out the window, like, well, make sure there's no cable in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking just takes ages to fucking come down when it's like, obviously, like I've cut it, so it's not attached to the roots anymore. A load of it, but it's just like still just stuck to the wall. It's like, fucking ivy, get fucked.
Yeah, it is horrible stuff.
Yeah.
I lived in a place and it was coming through. It came through like the window sill. I think it went through the like into the bit and actually under the window
Yeah.
and under the wooden window sill. Like, what the hell's that? And yeah, well, we were renting that place and told the landlords and they didn't do anything. So
Right.
we moved out soon after. But yeah, it was like the houses just get destroyed by it. It's terrible stuff.
Yes. I'm gonna. If it's like I need a nice weather. What I also bought is a really long pole, an extendable pole, with like a
Right.
thing that you could stick on the end to like scrape through the gutters because I can get onto my roof. Like, not onto. I could get onto my roof. Don't really want to because it's fucking really high. But I could get
Well, it's
out
3
through the
stories, isn't it?
skylights on the roof
Right.
end and like use this great big pole to scrape all the shit out of the gutter. I tried to use it, and it was just too wet. I was like, this is still too
Right.
fucking wet. I can't get this to move because it's just like fucking water everywhere. I'm like, so annoying. Houses.
Well, if I do get made redundant, I think that's what I'm going to go into.
What?
Funny enough,
Handyman
gutter cleaning.
shit.
Gutter cleaning.
Yeah.
I've got a gutter vac, and it's awesome. And
Yeah, but how does that
like
get up onto a 3-story house, Dave? Can you do that?
massive poles.
Yes.
I've got like how many? I've got
What, people from Poland? Or...
Yeah, they're good
Yes.
workers.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've
Is
got
that a
like
bit stereotypical to suggest they're all really tall? To be fair, well, most of the ones I know are quite tall.
and hard workers.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, yeah, it is one of the things it's my sort of backup plan if work goes tits up, or I get a criminal record, or start my own business, and you got to plan for these things.
Yeah.
You'll
It's
never
like
be out of work, Dave, though.
it's
I mean,
like
again, it's one of these things, right? There's always work for good people, right?
yeah, it's like always having a valid passport. You've got to have an escape plan. If all goes tits up, you've got a route out the
You've got a,
country.
what you call it, a go bag ready then, Dave.
Well, I'm such a light packer, in many respects, that yeah, like I could literally just put I don't know a couple of pants in. The thing is, anywhere you go, you buy stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to
Well,
take shit
I
on
would have no
holiday.
cash. I'd be fucked because I just everything's on my phone. I'm like, oh, I can't escape anyone because everything. I just use my phone for everything now. I'll be fucking tracked down
Oh,
within
well, if
seconds.
you're really trying to avoid,
Yeah.
like, to the problem is you can't take much out of the cash machines anymore.
Know where you are anyway when you do.
Well, yeah, cash is king, isn't it?
No,
It is.
cash is dead.
Well, you used to be.
Bitcoin's king, man. Invest,
No,
please.
that sounds like a
Bring my investments
a
up.
big scam. It already sounds like a huge scam.
My Bitcoin investments are back in the black.
Yes,
Better
you're
sell them
right where
now,
I
then.
am, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, yes, mine are back right where mine are at the point where I was going, if it got to that point, I'm taking my money out.
Right,
And it's
yeah.
got to that point, and it's just to get my money back, right? It
Yeah.
just means it'll be a wash.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving it in there. Let's go.
Well, the thing is, I've not had access to that money for such a long time. I don't even think about it anymore. And I looked at it today. I was like,
yeah.
"Ooh, that's not I was
It's
expecting to."
It's not negative. Hooray!
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Hold firm.
Yeah.
You nugs, sell
Hold
it
the
now
line.
before it crashes again. Someone's making shitloads of money whenever this thing's fucked up.
There's always
Who
people
knows?
making money on everything, whether it goes up or down or it goes tits up or not. You know what I just realised? We haven't talked about football.
No,
Oh. Yeah, okay. Do you want to do a quick football roundup?
have we done everything else?
I've got
have we-
nothing else.
Have we all talked
Oh,
about?
no,
You've got your big deal.
I've got two things on my
Your
what we've
once
been
in a
doing.
lifetime fucking thing that happens.
Well, I mean, I did think that this was the big one, but actually the other one is the bigger one. But anyway, yes, we had the eclipse on Monday. So I grabbed my children and we drove only 15 minutes south. So we were at 99%. But all we had to do was go down south a little bit, 15 minutes to my friend's house, and we had lunch there, and he was in totality. So we went there, had lunch, walked across the street to the park, and watched the eclipse. It was good.
Did you have your glasses or a pinhole
I have
camera,
welding
or?
glass actually.
Right.
So I've got 2 sheets of welding glass. Every time there's something that requires me to look at the sun, I always bring my welding glass out, which are way better than the glasses.
Right.
And yeah, it was good. It was, it was a little bit cloudy, which was, again, cloudy and eclipse don't seem to mix. But I was at the eclipse back in 2000 or whenever it was, when it was in England, and that was cloudy and it was brilliant.
Right.
And in fact, I would say almost the cloudy eclipse in England was almost more spectacular than this one, for various reasons. The cloud cover in England was a lot thicker and lower, and it made for some really interesting effects. And we were in the middle of the countryside, so it was just a really cool experience. This one was a little bit different. The clouds did part enough, so we saw the full eclipse, and then we had you could see the corona, right? So that's the money. That's the money shot, right?
Yeah.
Where you get to see the sun's corona, which you can't see normally.
No.
It was just cool, right?
You
It was just cool.
could see it, but
You wouldn't
supposed to
want to be. Yeah, you're not. Well, I don't even think you can see it. I think the fact is the sun
Can you
is
not
so
like
bright.
hold like a fake moon similarly sliced thing in front of it from this?
No,
like create your own mini eclipse by holding a disc in front of the sun.
I mean, you may
Not
have cracked
recommended.
something there.
Not
Neil.
recommended.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, if you get you're off by a little bit, I mean, it has to be pretty precise, right? So yeah, it was cool. I mean, it felt like it didn't knock my socks off as much as the first one, but maybe it's because it wasn't my first one. My neighbor
still. Oh, I don't think I ever will. Probably.
My neighbor hadn't seen it, and I think he was really he did not think it through about what was about to happen, right? Because of course it just went fucking practically pitch dark, right? Out of nowhere when you're not expecting it. Yeah. And as well, now that I'm thinking, it was cool, right? The lead up to it was long, but then it starts to get dark, and it's a really odd darkness. It's not like dusk at night, when the sun is disappearing behind the horizon. This is the sun disappearing up at the top of you, and it's just completely different darkness. It's almost like static in front of you. It's really odd. I mean, there's a lot of really odd things about it, right? And that's the nature of an eclipse. It's something we don't see very often. It reminds us of how fucking insignificant we are. Yeah, it's great, and the kids got to it and saw it, and we didn't miss it, so it was good.
Were
It's
they
really
like
cool.
completely nonplussed? Like, yeah, whatever.
No, they were good. I mean,
They
I thought I was going
appreciate
to
that.
get.
Like this
I
is
thought
you don't see this shit very often. So
they do. My kids are very understand. I mean, they enjoyed being there. I thought I was going to get is it going to be over yet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I dragged them 2 hours out of their normal routine or whatever it was. But to be fair, it was. No one is going to see that happen and not be fucking impressed, right? It's just not going to happen. Yeah, it was cool. Obviously, really, it was cool because temperature dropped, right? As soon as the sun disappears, temperature drops.
Did the birds stop singing and like?
No, I was like going, you wait, the birds are going to stop, because when we saw it in England, the birds went dead quiet.
Yeah.
Right. This one, I was like, wait, and I went, listen. See, all the birds have stopped, and then straight away you just heard this bird just go quack. And I just looked like a right, and I was like, you made me look stupid.
Was that a goose?
I don't know I can't remember what it was.
Goosed your silence.
So yeah, it was cool. Eclipse was cool. Awesome. Who would have thunk it? And then the other day, maybe just a day or so after, with the dog was out in the garden. He was dying to get out in the garden, and I should have known something was up.
Something's wrong.
He kept going over to the corner of the garden, and I thought maybe it was a mouse. We have mice in the back occasionally, so I thought maybe that's what he was after. But it turns out there was a bunny's nest there. So my dog, being the brute he is, sort of dug it up a little bit, and I saw, he disturbed the nest, and I saw one of the bunnies crawling away, and I was like, oh God. So I grabbed him and I pulled him in, and we were sort of talking about what we could do. And I'm very matter of fact, like, just let nature take its course, right? We can't go pick him up. You can't, whatever. There's, like, he didn't kill any of them. He just disturbed the nest. And I was like, they're probably now fucked.
Finding a new home.
But we have 4 bunnies. 4 bunnies still there. The mum still keeps coming back or whatever. So, here he is. Speak of the devil.
Bunny finder.
The bunny whisperer. And so we got 4 little bunnies out there. And this is the thing that's going to make you laugh, is like, I have basically become such a wet blanket about them. Like, it's been raining constantly for 2 days, so I've built a bunny shelter above their nest.
Are you like, what's his name, Tony Soprano, with the fucking geese?
Probably. That's exactly the same sort of thing.
When they leave, you'll be fucking devastated.
I'll be crestfallen. Yeah. I'm already starting to wonder, like, I'll post a picture in the Discord.
Have you named them yet? And not just Bunny 1, Bunny 2.
No, yeah, they're going to be Bunny 1 and Bunny 2. But I'm wondering, like, perhaps is there some way I can get them to imprint on my dog, right? Or the dog imprints on them. And then we could have, like, bunnies in the house or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just being stupid, but it's pretty neat.
But wild bunnies, obviously.
Yes.
Is it possible to tame a bunny?
I mean,
they're actual
maybe.
rabbits. They could be diseased.
They could have myxomatosis.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not touching them. Whatever happens, I'm sure at some point they'll be gone, and then I'll be devastated, right? And
then you'll have to buy bunnies.
Then I'll have to go buy a bunny. So that's rabbits. Pretty much it. Yeah. So anyway, bunny watch. I'll give you an update next week.
Right.
All right. That's it.
Are we
okay? That's everything that what we've been doing. I suppose we should do a football roundup.
Okay. That was me, isn't it?
A concise version.
I have trimmed it down. You'll be glad to hear. But unfortunately, at the moment, I don't know where the fucking screen is. There it is. Found it. Right. So, quick roundup. Right, we are... Oh, I don't remember what game week it is. 32? Maybe? Whatever. Man City beat Palace 4-2 at Selhurst Park with Kevin De Bruyne bagging the 3 bonus points. Villa and Brentford went on to draw 3-3 at Villa Park with Ollie Watkins getting 3 bonus points. Bit of a turnaround in that game. Villa were looking quite comfortable, and then Brentford come storming back. Everton, those of the newly even more 2 points deducted. Everton beat Burnley 1-0. Good for
Sorry,
them.
what was that sentence?
I don't know. It didn't make any sense. They've recently got another 2 points deduction. That made sense.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see how and what that affects. But they're obviously appealing it, so who fucking knows what's going on there. And the Bella Ciao serenaded Dominic Calvert-Lewin got 3 bonus points. Did he score a penalty in that game? Can't remember. It might have been the one boot before. Anyway, moving on. Newcastle went on to beat Fulham 1-0 at Craven Cottage with Bruno Guimaraes getting 3 bonus points. My boys finally got a win. First time in 11 games. Beat Bournemouth 2-1 at the Kenny. Jordan Clark, 3 bonus points. The Championship playoff hero. Anyway. So that was a massive win for us. West Ham beat Wolves 2-1 at Molineux. James Ward-Prowse scored from a corner in this game. He's got 3 bonus points. Scored direct from a corner, as in he took the corner, which went straight in the goal.
I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, it does not, no.
And Arsenal continued to be incredibly dominant in the domestic league. Beat Brighton 3-0 at the Amex. Kai Havertz. Good differential there. 3 bonus points.
I bought Kai Havertz this week.
What, after this?
I've binned Bowen.
Oh.
Bowen's broken.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I haven't really checked what's happened.
You got Bowen, Dave.
Bowen, yes.
He's broken, mate.
Yeah.
Is he? Did he get busted up in the midweek because of the European fixtures?
I part of me is starting to. I think, and here we go. Here's Morsey's take on it. Right, this season we've seen way more football than we've ever seen before with the added extra time. Peak players are just looking broken like I don't think I've ever seen before. I fully expect some of the sort of later year players, like up in the late 20s or the early 30s, to really be struggling. Or, obviously those teams without deeper squads.
Rodri's been complaining, wants a rest.
Even Rodri, I was saying the same thing. And I think Haaland is going to just be like one of those.
He's had a few months off.
Yeah, he's going to fucking do someone. I know it's coming. I ain't getting rid of him. I've been hovering over the get rid of Haaland, and I'm like,
because he's going to just go mental all of a sudden because everyone else is getting fucked. Wait, it could be this weekend. I'm just saying. We've got 7 centre backs. None of them have trained all week. Right. So there we go. Expect a hatful, or double, or triple hatfuls for Haaland this weekend, potentially. Yeah. Although they've got a big job to do in Europe. So maybe we'll talk about that briefly. I'll quickly finish off the fixtures, shall I? Man U and Liverpool drew 2-2 at Old Trafford. Big result for Man United. Big disappointment for Liverpool. Kobe Mainoo, 3 bonus points for Man United. Sheffield United, speaking of disappointments, drew 2-2 with Chelsea at Bramall Lane even. Thiago Silva, the veteran of the footballing lifestyle, on 3 bonus points. And then finally Spurs beat Forest 3-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Edra Porro, who's definitely been binned off by a lot of people in the last few months because he's been shit. 3 bonus points, scored an absolute cracker.
Yeah, but he's been shit a long. FPL-wise,
he's been shit. FPL-wise, we always, when you say people have been shit, and we talk about people being shit, they're definitely not shit. They're just shit from an FPL perspective.
From a FPL points point of view.
Yeah, so the player of the week was Kevin De Bruyne. Got 18 points, got 2 goals, 1 assist, and 3 bonus, obviously, in the Man City.
He is outrageous.
Yeah. Speaking of old
Can you imagine if he was fully fit? Oh, my God.
I just saw something. Who was it? I can't remember which player. I think it was Gabriel Jesus. He says he can't remember the last time he played a football match without some sort of pain.
Oh, yeah.
So all of these players play with a minor niggle of some description for their entire careers. I think Alan Shearer and Lineker have said the same on their podcast, that no one's ever 100% fit because there's always something wrong. Yeah. Whether you've got a fucking cold or whether you've got a bit of a gammy toe.
And I think it's almost like that for everyone as well, right? I
mean, they're just humans like everybody else.
Yeah.
Despite their extremely...
you think about that. Think about American footballers who are getting slammed.
Fucking ridiculous. Well, they've got pads on, Think of the rugby
That's
players.
that's the bigger problem, right? They're saying is the fact that they have the pads means they're slamming way harder than they
Yeah.
ever
They should
be,
do,
right?
yeah.
You know, at least
Yeah.
with rugby players, there's a limit, right? You
Well,
can't.
there's all sorts of shit going on in rugby. Like there has been people getting red cards for. I was like, why is that a red card? This guy's he's just literally like the guy has like caught the ball in the air. He's obviously got to stop him, and he's slightly mistimed a tackle. He's like taken him before he lands. They've like his head's hit his shoulder or something like that, and he's been sent off. I was like, that's we can't fucking control that.
See, all the old boys, my dad would be going, they'd be raging about that.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a fucking red card. It's ridiculous. So yeah, rugby's really trying to do something about all of the fucking. But the guys in rugby. I mean, when your dad was watching rugby, like regularly, probably, you had the likes of what's his name, Rory Underwood, who was like my size with a smaller belly, and he was a winger. And like the wingers now are fucking like the forwards of 20 years ago, but still as quick. So
that's because they can train all the time.
Yeah.
Underwood was probably
the forwards
a
are just
solicitor.
literally
Underwood was
giants.
probably a solicitor and had to go to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, like didn't like Brian Moore and all those guys. They were big lads, but they look fucking tiny compared to the current lot of forwards because they're just fucking gigantic. You certainly won't want to get hit by one of those. That's for sure in a tackle. So on to our league. I shall probably put that up on the screen. We have top scorer on the week, David Kinsit. I know he's piped up on the Discord.
What? Oh, I didn't notice that.
79 points for David.
No wonder he's come up. Oh, yeah, here he comes. Yeah, poking his head above the water.
Nathan got his second top scorer, 77 points.
They're all right above me.
Andy Cox, not above you, generally speaking. 76 for Andy. Good week.
Andy Cox says... I said it already. Watch next year. Andy Cox and Luch. Those guys are going to be big players up there in the top 10 next year. I reckon.
I'm going to try not to fuck it completely next year as well.
Yeah, I'm not putting you in that same group.
I've learned my lessons this year, potentially, after getting a bit cocky, maybe. But anyway, our top three are Adam on 1,971 points. He scored 61 last week. Angelo, your man, scored 73 last week, just outside the top three scorers.
Benji.
On 1,906 points. And the aforementioned David Kinsit.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Benji. What week is this?
We've got 6 weeks ago, I think. There's a lot of points left.
I mean, a slip by your son and a strong finish from Angelo. Your boy ain't out the woods yet.
No. He's can't take anything for granted in this game.
Right? No, you cannot. No.
So yeah, it's all heating up. I seem to recall I can't remember who it was. Someone was top fucking. There was Paul Davies, wasn't it, last year? I reeled him in last year. He's been nowhere this year. Paul, what are you doing? Get your act together.
Oof, Dave, you managed to claw back 2 points against a dead team.
Yep.
That's good.
I did. I had Bowen on, and Saka was on the bench.
Oh, mate.
So I definitely lost out some points there.
Oh no!
Rude.
Saka's third place on your bench. You know it goes in order, right?
No.
Yeah. So when it draws from your subs, it draws left to right.
It depends if it's defenders and all that. You have to have a minimum of 3 defenders.
You got to have a minimums. But you know, if it's got a choice, it's going to grab 8 Nori first, right? Yeah. Some of the Americans didn't know that.
Did they not read the instructions?
Thank you, Neil. Read the fucking... No, real men don't read the manual, Neil. Everybody knows that.
Real men are idiots, apparently.
Well, we know that. We're all idiots. No doubt about that. Yeah. Right. Dave, 19 points on the bench. Oof.
Oh, no. Yikes. Well, we're on to the head.
Still not, but you're only just off the average. It's not a crushing bad week. But...
No, 56 for the average last week.
Yeah, he's only just a bit
same as you, wasn't it, Fred?
Same as me,
yeah. You can't bash me too hard.
I can't bash you too hard.
Average. Actually, no. What? Oh, you both got the same score.
But I wouldn't have like having Arsenal defenders on, having Arsenal players on the bench when you've got when you've got a Luton player, and that's whatever. But
okay.
I really need to get into a routine of checking my squad, and I
Do
just
you
don't.
not have
It
the
just
app on
don't
your
play.
phone? Because it constantly
No.
All you
hassles
got to
you.
do, is just do the little bit of tending, right? Little bit of tending. Anyway, we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Mm.
It's gonna be all right.
Head to head.
Okay.
But
Sure.
we're definitely talking about head to head this week.
Why did we? Oh, are we? Why?
Yeah,
Come on then.
We'll quickly run through the weekly score, shall we?
Go
Adam,
on then.
61. Andy Cox, 76. Adam's lost for the
Nice.
first time in a while there. The average, 56.
No. Sorry, no. I beat him 2
All
weeks
right.
ago.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago. All right. Phil Taylor, 63. Beat the average. Dave, 51. Chipper Spice, 56.
Oh.
Lou Estevez, 51. Chris Jackson, 63. Mike Redmond, 54. Luciano, 58. Fraser Moores, 51. Myself, 68. Yes!
Minus your transfer. Oh, there's
No
minuses
this week.
Oh, see, so you didn't have any transfers, and you got
I did
a
one
good week.
transfer. Yeah, I've got
one.
2 free transfers this week, actually.
But you didn't burn any points, so that's
No.
good.
I don't think I did any transfers, actually, because I woke up late on Saturday morning. This is my new plan. Don't do anything. Leave it
It's
as
a
it
good
may.
It may work.
Gary D. Felice, 64. My wife, 60. Christian Barkley, 62. Elusive Man, 60. So the top 3. Adam first on 67 points. Obviously been slightly reeled in. Gary D. Felice moving up to second, joint second with Mike Redmond, 55 points. And then we have my wife, Lou, Christian, and a certain Fraser Moores, all on 54 points. And then there's some other people in the league, and there's me, Dave down the bottom.
Yay.
So that
Okay.
is the football.
That's football. Thank you, Neil. Okay, let's move on then to what we've been playing. Anybody like to start?
Nope.
I'll start. I went pinball this week again.
Awesome.
My pinball league. I'm not doing as well in the pinball league as I would hope. As I had hoped. I had aspirations I was going to win the pinball league. That is not going to happen.
A bit above your station there, were you?
Yeah, but to be fair, I was looking at the standings the other day, and I'm probably around, I don't know, 12th, I think, maybe 9th or something. And the people above me are all good players.
Veterans of the pinball lifestyle.
Veterans of the pinball, at least that's sort of like, say there's 9 people above me. Well, 3 or 4 of them all own pinball machines in that facility, right? So you're up against people who've in the biz. And then there's another 2 or 3 who are in there who are all Ontario players and stuff. So I'm okay with it. I'm enjoying it anyway. Like, it's just nice to be. It's nice. It's forcing me out to go and play regularly. So yeah, it's all good.
Is your pinball on your mobile phone still getting the same amount of loving?
On my iPad. Yeah. Still, it's my toilet game, right? So I do my dailies on the toilet.
You do your dailies on the dailies.
Yeah. So I still playing that every now and then. And I have been really thinking about buying a machine. I no word of a lie. I think about it numerous times every day, but I'm fighting that urge as hard as possible.
I tell you, I bumped into an old work colleague the other week for the first time in a while. He left. He got made redundant. But he's a bit of a collector. He used to collect. He used to go to like the Comic Cons and places like that and get loads of autographs. He was collecting loads of autographs. He has got the most ridiculous thing that anyone has probably ever seen at these things. He made, he's a massive Walking Dead fan, right? So he got a baseball bat, right? And he made what's her name? The fucking Negan's baseball bat. She's got a name. I can't remember what her name is.
No idea.
It's got fucking like barbed wire and everything on it, right, in the show. So he's fucking made it with all the barbed wire and shit on it. It's real baseball bat, real fucking barbed wire. And he's got loads of people, loads of the cast to sign it. He hasn't got Negan's yet. But he's like,
Alright.
he has to smuggle the fucker in because like you're not supposed to take any of all this shit. There's like a massive long list of things you're not supposed to take, and fucking real baseball bats with barbed wire isn't specifically on the list. But it's definitely getting rejected if anyone finds it.
Probably going to come under some category.
So I think like I'm not revealing his technique for getting it in. I was about to, but I probably shouldn't. But yeah, so he's got loads of signatures on this. And I said, if you get Negan on that fucker, it's going to be worth... What's his name? I can't remember what his real name is. But anyway, if he gets that thing out, I swear that's going to be worth a shitload of money. But he started collecting arcade chipsets and stuff like that. He's got like the boards for loads of arcade machines and stuff. He finds them on all sorts of places. He's just like... And he said his house where he lives is just full of fucking arcade machines. He got nowhere to sit or anything. He got no fucking room, just arcade machines.
Oh my god, that's hell for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. See, that's the problem I have is if I get a pinball machine, they're not small.
No.
I think there are two things that concern me. One is the market is at the top right now. So if I buy it, am I going to make any money? If I hold on to it, I think prices are going to come down. They're
still
stupid.
In pandemic. Is this pandemic related still? Do you think
they all went through the roof in the pandemic, and they're started to stabilize a little bit, maybe drop slightly. I get the feeling it's cooling off massively,
You're drumming up all this support for pinball on the show, so surely you're keeping the market alive.
Oh. The other thing is I'm worried about buying a machine and then getting bored of it, and then it just sits there. I'm also so I'm thinking maybe if I was to get a machine, it would have to be when my children clear out of my basement. Like I could easily fit one in my basement if I got rid of a child's desk, right?
I was going to say get rid of a child.
Well, yeah, I mean the only way that's going to happen is getting rid of a child. I might be able to get rid of a child's desk if I move it into their bedrooms, but I don't really want them disappearing into their bedrooms all the time. The other thing is they're fucking massively heavy and bulky, and getting them down and up anywhere is a fucking pain in the arse. And I honestly
you really want them on the ground floor, don't you?
I don't know whether I can be bothered to maintain it. Right. So I'm sitting there. So I'm sitting there thinking I should just keep going to somebody else's collection, right?
Yeah, or you could get video pinball or whatever. Make a video like a machine, a TV.
Yeah.
Pinball.
Well, if you go into, I've already been down that path, and I watch a lot of videos on current machines. So you could build. I think you need to budget. I would say $5,000 to do it properly. And then there's a lot of work. You budget more if you want someone else to do the work for you, but you need a decent PC in there, which is going to be $1,000. Now you've got a cabinet, you've got the televisions, you've got whatever. I mean, it's not cheap, but you can build apparently some fucking really cool video pinball machines. Like they are all into now full-on shaker motors, 7.1. They have speakers that you attach to the cabinet all the way down, and it will feed back noise from those speakers, resonating speakers. They're not proper speakers. They're like resonating speakers or whatever. They will feed back proper, depending on where the ball is on the screen, it will give you the sound for the location of the ball with these speakers that are surround the cabinet. All LED. You can do 3 screens. The rabbit hole is deep, boys, in this one. But the video pinball is somewhat attractive because you could have 1,000 tables, right? And video pinball is fun, right? It's not pinball. It's not the same as pinball. And if you're a pinball purist who wants to poo-poo it, so be it. Whatever you like, fair enough. I'm sure all of this vinyl people who don't like CDs.
There's no other way to get
whatever,
1,000 tables in your room. Is there?
No, but I have a strong suspicion that if you were to sit down on someone who tricked out a proper video pinball machine, you would go, this is fucking the business, right? A really good arcade machine, effectively. So that's sort of tempting. And then I've also been thinking, is there a way for me to do it without a cabinet? So I could have some sort of way, maybe just to have a controller, access to a decent TV, use my current PC, somehow shoehorn some sort of solution in that's not so overbearing, but then you don't get the same effects as if you build a machine. It doesn't feel the same. You're not standing up playing, which is, I don't know. There's tons of things to consider. I don't know.
You've got enough
I don't know.
speakers. You
I
can
need
just,
to be. I need a bigger house, and I need to just be fucking rich. That's
Yeah.
what I need.
Don't we all?
Right? Just don't want to have to. The money problem and the space. It's money and space a little bit, but
Money
I don't know.
helps with the space problem generally.
Yes, that's what you want. Yeah, I need a lot.
It
But I need
basically comes
lots of
down
money.
to a money problem.
I need lots of money to really solve the space problem. But anyway, so yeah, so pinball's good. Yeah, like I say, I've not been, I had some good games at the weekend, at last week, sorry, which was okay, but a couple of crap ones too, which is not great. Video games, I've not really been playing too much at all.
It's the one.
Played a bit. Well, I played a bit of Hunt with you guys, and but there was one point where I sat down. It's like I just didn't know what to play, and I fired up the PlayStation. I just fired up Astro's Playroom,
Good.
which is okay.
It's good. I'd say I'll go so far and say it is good.
It is good. It is good. I could see why people might want to dunk on it or dump on it or whatever it might be. There's not I don't think
What
there's
is
a
it?
lot.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Okay, so
basically
Astro's
a PS5 tech demo.
Yes. Yeah, so
Right.
you get it free with your PS5, and it's a platformer. So you have a little guy, this Astrobot guy, and you run him around and he basically starts off in like a hub world, which is the PlayStation hub world, and then you can go to the GPU world, or you can go to the memory world, or you can go to the cooling world, or whatever like that. It's all based around, the theme is computer parts.
Right.
And then as you progress through each level, each world has 4 sections, and each section has a number of things to collect in it, apart from just getting to the end. I mean, you can just play it and get through to the end and do that, but you'll have the game done in an hour. But if you start collecting stuff, you can find all sorts of artifacts, and then those are references to PlayStation history.
Yeah,
right?
it is cool.
Okay.
Then on top of that is the actual tech demo, which is pretty much where they're showcasing the mainly the controller.
The speed of the
really.
SSD.
Yeah, I mean, it looks brilliant.
I'm not even listening to it. I can hear the GPU song in my head. Just
I'm
remembering.
Your GPU.
Yeah.
I'll rasterize and posterize. That one.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the earworm.
I've got that one in my head a lot now. Yeah, too.
There's lots of references to things that like I don't know, things from like all PlayStation eras. There's all sorts of like references throughout the whole thing. It's good.
I played it on the and it's got all the things like it showcases like the haptic feedback on the triggers, or there's tons of noise from the speaker, like when you're going through the water, you hear the little swishy splashes through the controller speaker, and it wants you to use the touch thingy on it, and the motion controls on it, and it all works very well, and it's very impressive. It is very impressive. It is a fucking amazing controller, really. To be fair,
that's why the battery doesn't fucking last very long, because it's got so much cool shit in it.
I handed it back to Stan after I finished. I said, "You better charge that." After I'd played Astros for an hour, to which he said, "Why don't you use your own controller? We just got you one for your birthday." Yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I couldn't find that. I didn't really want to play it for too long, but in short bursts, it's very enjoyable.
I actually feel like going to play it again. No, like we're talking about, it's like, there's definitely some things I didn't finish in that. I could go back and probably try and find
it's got its hooks in. It's got its hooks into me because I was like, I first played this last year at a friend's house, and then I played it again a few months ago when Stan bought the PS5, and then I went into it again last night or the night before, whenever it was, and I looked on the worlds that I'd already done, and it went, "You haven't found any of this, and you haven't found any of that," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh.
I thought I was quite thorough, and I'm still missing tons of it. So a little that bugs me, right? So now I've got
You'll
what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I want to go back. But it's perfect, right? if I just don't want to be on my PC, I just need to like it's fucking mind numbing, right? I'm sure I went through 2 of the levels and I don't even remember going through them. Like it's just so straightforward. It's not very challenging. It's very easy. Like it's built for kids to be able to do.
I think there's
Yeah.
the sort of the hidden stuff is more challenging.
That for sure, right? And so there is a path to going deeper into it. And so from that point of view, it's cool, and I can walk by and I can just turn the PlayStation on. That's the perfect, nice little console game just to have in the background that I can just chip away at. Because PS Plus, we didn't renew, so we haven't got access to a ton of stuff. So I got to be a little bit
You've
selective.
got fuck all basically now on your
Yes.
PlayStation.
Yes, I need to buy some stuff. I think there's a good sale on right now. So
There is, but a lot of it requires PlayStation Plus.
oh,
I guess. Well, not a lot of it. There's a
So-
lot of single player stuff on PlayStation. That is what they're renowned for, after all. But
right.
there's a lot of cool stuff that does need PlayStation Plus. A
Hmm.
lot of stuff that's not on sale as well. Fucking Spider-Man 2, that never goes on sale.
No. Oh well. Yeah, so that's it. That's really all I've been up to. You know, a bit of hunt or whatever. But anyway, I'll leave that up. Maybe Neil's going to raise that.
Maybe.
You
Uh,
want to go?
I've been playing a new game. Well, a new game for me. I think it's been out a couple of weeks.
You
I
didn't
spoke
mention
about
this
it
last
last
we
week.
talked about it last week.
Yeah, I did. I've been continuing to play Dragon's Dogma 2. It's, I say, it's a single player game. It's so easy to pick up and just do a quest, and then do the next one, and then continue to do them, and then it's like shit. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
It's been getting its hooks into me. Again, it's just it's just so stupid. It's a very well done game, but like when fighting some of the larger creatures, I think there's a griffin or something on the screen at the moment.
Which looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
all your all your characters, all the pawns, all your NPCs that are
helpers.
with you. It's just like it's mayhem with like if you've got like some powerful mages firing off ice and fire and like buffing everyone's weapons.
Because you don't
And
actually
then
have any control over what they do you? They just fucking go
you
to town and do whatever they want.
no, but you can control which pawns are with you and the attributes that they have. So like everyone who has a character, everyone who plays this game has a main pawn.
You have yourself and then your main companion,
And
kind of thing, which
your
is
main
your
companion,
pawn.
and then my main companion is what is he? He's a thief, which is a melee character that offsets to concentrate on
You can give them traits
large
as well, can't you?
Yeah, that's it. The traits is that he concentrates on enemies' weak bits. You can tell them just to go like all in, and try and take all the aggro. You can tell them to stand back and heal people, even if they're not mages. They can give you or buff you your health and things like that. But mine is just attack when you can get get um, get a good shot and hit the critical areas on these big ogres and things like that. And then I've got a ranged. I like having a ranger with me, somebody who's got a bow and arrow, and then I have um, a sort of an attack mage that does all the fancy things. Doesn't necessarily heal, but I've found that I've got so many healing potions and I pick so much stuff up. In this game, if you press pause, pauses all the gameplay, and then so if I'm getting low on health, I just like spam the healing potion, get back up to full health, and then just go back in. I don't actually need like relying on one of the characters to
What
hit
game is
heal
that?
for me.
There's a game, I think it's Yakuza. It's Yakuza, where you're getting an absolute pounding and you just pause, quick, eat loads of food while you're in the
Yeah.
pause menu, get all my health back, unpause, and I'm back in the game.
Yep. Yeah, it's like that, and it to us only takes a few seconds. So a lot of people like to have or create their mages to be healers for them. But I don't see any point in that. But yeah, it's good. I've got to the point where I'm nearly changing classes, and when you change class, you keep some of the benefits of your previous class, and same as with your pawn as well. And then the further on in the game, you discover classes that are not available to you in the start. So I'm going to change over to a warrior, which is one that you've got to discover. And then I think there's an upgraded one for the thief as well, but I haven't found it. But I've got the quest to find it. So yeah, it's a lot of there's a lot of things. It's very deep. The story's okay.
Do you got other people's pawns coming into your game? Do you have to manually select
you
one?
have to
or is it...
so you get so basically you can
So hopefully the next time
go
I
to
log in,
these
you've used
routes.
my pawn and he comes back and he's really cool. Done loads of cool
Yeah,
shit.
if for example, if I take your pawn on with me, everywhere that I go and like all the things that I find and how I complete quests, when he goes back into your game, he will go, oh, I've discovered all these things, and then when you're actually on your things, then oh, there's a chest over here because I found it in my game, and he'll tell you in yours, or he will tell you
It's a lady in my game.
it's a lady. But yeah, like the knowledge of what they do in other people's games comes back to you and say, oh, I've already done this. This is where you need to go, or this is where I can find, or here's some hidden things or secret things that have been found on my travels. It's just it's good. It's really interesting.
You played the first one, did you?
I did.
Didn't finish
I
the first one.
didn't complete it. I played it when it first got released. Got stuck in a point. Replayed it again and got stuck in the same place, and just I couldn't be bothered to grind past it. And then in here, I'm just I haven't got to a point where I'm stuck or I'm underleveled for a particular quest line or anything. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
I've not
Check
played it this week.
You haven't played it?
No, not this week. I need
No.
to chalk a few things off my list and then give it some
Did you buy
proper
it?
attention. Yeah, well, it came with my SSD.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah. See, I think the investment because I paid money for it. I think my investment in it is
I'll
more.
get to it. I'll get to it, but there's definitely things I want to get done.
Yeah.
He says.
All right.
Neil, you want to talk about?
So, speaking of things that I've been played before that I want to get done, I played loads more Gran Turismo this week. So I'm back into Gran Turismo. So I've not really raced online again this week. I got on back into the sort of way the progression works in CT7 is it's around this cafe. So you go to the cafe and you get a menu book, and it gives you basically some jobs to do. And I've finished the main sort of the initial cafe book campaign, if you like. We get to a certain level of cafe books, and it says basically you've done. But then there's extra ones. And as they've been doing more and more updates, they keep bringing out more and more extra ones. There's like extra cafe menus are just literally car collection menus where you literally goes collect these 3 cars, and loads of them you start off you've already got them because you've played the game for however long and you've managed to get a load of cars. And then others, as you go further and further, and the more cars you get, you increase something called like your collection level or whatever. And every time you get up to a new collection level, it unlocks more of these collection menus. So I've been going around buying some cars to complete these, which then gives you more cars to collect. So I've just been spending loads of money, really. I did get my 2 million credits from my fast lap in the stupid car, which did go some ways.
Not the circle one, the 3-corner.
Yeah, Daytona.
Yeah.
Was it Daytona?
Can't remember. I know you
think
said
it was Daytona.
So
yeah, there's
like
basically 3 beds, but you could just hammer it, like just literally floor it the entire way around. But there's some new. I got 250 grand today for doing my last in the Toyota Super, what's it called? World Endurance Championship type car, prototype. For last week, they go around for about 2 weeks, the fast lap challenges. And this week now, I'm in a bronze on both of them at the moment, but I literally played about 2 laps of the most recent one, which is the KTM Expo. Don't know if you're Crossbow, I guess it could be called. Which is like a weird. It's technically a road car. I've never seen one on the road because it's basically a track car.
What is it?
Right, okay. So it's probably
KTM,
like
because who usually make motorbikes.
they do use.
They've made one car as far as I know, and it's called.
Yes.
It's spelt Expo, but I'm assuming it's called Crossbow.
Crossbow, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the most recent thing, and I did 2 laps and I was already on bronze, and I was like, okay, I can definitely get a lot quicker on this. So I'm hoping to get to the silver at least on that. But yeah, I've not done any more, like I say, multiplayer races, but I've just been.
Oh, would you like to buy one?
No,
Would you like to buy a crossbow, sir?
No, I don't think so. It's probably cheaper in Gran Turismo than it is in real life.
Starting price. This is starting price before we even put anything on top.
I don't think you can put many extras on one of these, to be honest. You probably
Well,
take
I'm
things
sure
off it by buying more.
I'm sure there's a few people who got some money to add onto this, whether it be freight, insurance, whatever. 320,000 euros to start.
Nice. It's
So,
pretty cool, though. It is a pretty cool car.
yeah, that's fair enough.
You wouldn't want to go to the shops in it, though, because I don't think it's got a boot, have any description whatsoever. So, yeah, I've done loads of fast lapping. And they've introduced, I did say, I think, the weekly challenges that are a new thing that they've brought in between me stopping playing it and starting again. And I just try and knock all of those out a week because it's waste. I just trying to get cash without going to the PlayStation store and spending real cash to get Gran Turismo cash. And then every time I get a fucking lottery ticket thing for completing one of the menu books and gets it's a stick-star roulette ticket. I'm like, yes, good chance of getting some cash here. Here you go. Here's 100,000 credits. I'm like, great. That's actually completely fuck all.
Yeah.
Basically, in this game, I'm not going to be able to buy my whatever it is, the McLaren MP4 Formula One car that Ayrton Senna drove because it's 10 million credits. Fucking yeah, the economy's a bit shit in Gran Turismo.
Is there no tracks you can just
There's like I got to the point where I was
X
searching what's the best way to earn money in Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
And I did a race.
Where's the dupe glitch? That's what you want. Where's the duplicate glitch?
There was a track, one of the races. If you win the race, you get 525,000 credits. And if you clean race it, you get a 50% bonus to 800,000 credits. And it takes half an hour to do the race. It's literally a half an hour race around Le Mans. But it's Le Mans with the chicanes. So you do actually have to slow down on a massive long straight bit. I was like, I'll just get a ridiculously fast car and I could just bomb it down that straight and basically just overtake everything. And it's like, oh, they've actually added the 2 chicanes to slow you down on there, which when you're battering it along at 220 miles per hour and to slow down to like 30 miles per hour to get around the fucking chicane is a bit annoying. Because on like the old school Le Mans, you could just get, it was just like a massive like 5 mile straight or something stupid. And you could just be fucking flying in. Some of the cars on the old games, you'd be like doing like 300 miles an hour and all that sort of stupid shit where you busted the physics on the game. There was I remember in the early Gran Turismos, you could, one of the cars, you know, there's like the massive oval, which is like about 10 kilometers.
You can just hold down the accelerator.
There was one car you could trick it so like you'd, what was it? You put masses of downforce on the rear and like no downforce on the front. And like when you'd upgraded the engine and everything, it would literally do like 1,000 miles per hour down the straight, wheeling down the straight. It was completely busted. But yeah, I haven't found anything like that in this game. But
I remember I think it was Gran Turismo 2. I specifically remember there was a Toyota Supra that you could do that and basically max out the gear ratio, so it had no acceleration. It took about 3 laps to actually get up to speed, but it yeah, similar to that. Once it was going, honestly, like you just you didn't have to do anything. It was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's my racing game at the moment that I'm playing, in between things, and like getting back into it, it was a bit intimidating to start with. Like, oh, this is actually really hard compared to like I'll jump into Forza and probably do okay, but I definitely have felt like I've needed to relearn the physics of Gran Turismo a bit to be good and quick. But yeah, I'm enjoying it again, and it's something I just keep jumping into every few days or every day, depending on how my mood catches me. And do you want to go with your other one, Dave?
Yes. I've been playing some. Wow. RimWorld, which is not a new game, but there's a new DLC, the Anomaly DLC, which is strange shit happening in RimWorld. So there's been some DLCs before. I think the Ideology, which brought in sort of religion. There's Royalty, which brought in.
You click in there, Dave.
Sorry, I'm clicking my knife. Sorry, I'll put that down.
Such a fiddler.
I know.
He pulled himself up about it last week. He said, "I'm not going to hold that because I'm going to click." Got him.
That was my other knife. I don't know where that one is now.
That's all right. We don't need to see it.
That's an even more clicky one.
All right, then don't get it.
Sorry, RimWorld. So biotech was another one where it there's basically you can control machines and sort of have an integrated society with machines and your pawns, yeah, ideology and royalty. Royalty being you basically progress through becoming not a king but like a duke, and all the powers and privileges that comes with that, and the having to have an impressive throne room and bedroom. Yeah, it's all that. Normally, I've only been playing it in a couple of hours, but I've found a weird glowing stone that the pawns feel uneasy when they go past, and you can research that, and your characters, your pawns, get weird thoughts. Sort of, yeah, and it can send them crazy. But there's technology and rewards to be had. So from what I've seen so far, but I've not got very far in it. I've seen a few videos, and there's obviously a release video that came with it. Oh, I think you've got it on there. I don't know if that's the Anomaly DLC that you're showing, but
it says Anomaly DLC on the
Anomaly
video
DLC.
description, so hopefully it is.
It's things like giant flesh monsters have been seen overtaking the map, or giant holes appearing where things start coming out of the ground, and you can research things like flamethrowers and other means of either getting rid of them or integrating with them. The pawns can start getting tentacles for limbs. So they're not monstrous, but they're have an affinity towards it. It's very interesting. It's great. I think a lot of it, RimWorld is very has lots of user created content. And I
Did you
think
call it? Was it you who called it the story generator?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like a.
Because again, last night, Stan turns around to me and he has this sort of solemn look on his face, like my whole kingdom is dead, and I can't remember what he said the reason for it was. Where I was like, well, that sucks, but that sounds like it's your fault, right?
Yeah, it's very easy for these colonies to collapse either through not enough food, being raided, disease.
I think it was starvation that got.
Yeah. It's is that there's lots of things to manage it, and it is a management sim. You are managing these people. You're telling them what to do, and how to do it, and the priority on how to do it, when to do it. It's not easy, but say this even when you're not doing it right, the story about it and the pawns that are doing it, you become when your main pawn that your character you started with dies because they got shot in the head randomly by you are a little bit sad, but then you can have a funeral for them, and and everyone gets a bit happy, and then or you can stick them into a biolab and reconstruct
Clone
their
them.
head. It's there's depending on how far you get and how much you get into it, there's
Is
death
it
is not the end
like a
with
Civ
these.
type of thing where you need to research technology and all that sort of shit to
Yeah,
have
so
all
that's
access to
part
all
of
of
it
this
as
kind
well.
of
Is
nonsense?
you can that's one of the things it's best that you do the research, but having pawns do research means they're not doing other things like farming or cooking or hunting. So it's always a trade-off about how far you want to progress, and even if you do progress, the expense of having the equipment down to create prosthetic limbs instead of just sticking a peg leg on somebody if they've had their leg chopped off. You can create prosthetic legs or bionic legs, but there's an expense, so there's always a trade-off about time and expense, and could you be creating automatic food processors rather than replacing people's limbs. So there's always a trade-off with these things, and that's part of the fun.
Is there an end game on this?
There's multiple different ways of ending it.
In a
Death is
positive way, other than just failing.
Yeah, rather
death
than
is the main way that people do it.
annihilation of your tribe, but
No, there's and all the on the base game and all the different DLCs. There are end states. You can leave this rim world. You can become that in the royalty one. You can become the head sort of royal. And that's sort of you've won. That's it. You've got there. I don't know about the anomaly. I know biotech. There are some conditions that you can sort of go to different sites and research like a higher level technology. I've never really got there. I've played this game a lot. I've put hundreds of hours into it. I don't think I've ever completed it once. I don't know what you're watching now, Neil.
Oh shit! I've put it on the screen already. Sorry. I was getting shit ready, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I forgot I'm actually on screen.
So yeah, it's I've never completed it, and I probably won't. But I just have fun playing it as a sort of management and story game. So yeah, but I was hoping to complete Dragon's Dogma, or at least get to a point where I was
That's
happy
massive,
that
isn't
I
it,
could
that
call
game?
it complete. Yeah. Well, it's like all these games. I put arbitrary completion finishing. Like I haven't finished with Dragon's Dogma yet, to a point where I should be playing another game, but new DLC came out for Rimworld. I was like, right, I'm right on that. So yeah.
fair enough. You
I'm
know
the
what you
worst
like.
for that sort of shit. I've got to go back and finish The Last of Us 2,
Yes.
among other things that I have started and not finished. So before I know it, fucking Shadow of the Erdtree will be out. Elden Ring DLC. Anyway.
Do you want to talk about your
Well, the
next
game
one?
that I started to show because I was getting
Yeah.
the next video queued up while I was actually
That's the
playing
one.
the previous video. I've been playing a game that came out on Game Pass last week. It is available for purchase on at least Xbox and PC, so it's pretty cheap. I think it's about 15 quid if you do want to buy it. It's called Botany Manor. So Botany Manor is basically a puzzle game. You play as Arabella Green, who is a posh lady from, I guess, the late 1800s, mid to late 1800s, who's lives in a medieval manor. Built in medieval times. 15. Well, better not. No, not going to tell you when it was, because that's one of the puzzle solutions in the game.
Yeah.
I'll give you the first 2 digits, clearly.
I wasn't listening, so I missed that. That's good.
So, yeah. You're thrown into your conservatory, and it's all smoggy and smoky, and you basically got to plant a seed and grow a plant to clear the smog from your conservatory and surrounding area. And then, as you do so, you find little bits of story, little bits of notes that people have left lying around for you, or letters to you, or things that you've written in your journal that tell the story of your life and your struggles as a lady of science in the mid to late 1800s, where you are largely treated as a second-grade citizen by all of the clever menfolk who basically completely disregard any female as having any sort of brain, apparently, from all of the things you read. For men of science. But there are clearly men in your life that have allowed you, inverted commas, to improve your skills as a botanist, and have taken you seriously, but without necessarily, it's not like this is a famous person who's some revered scientist. You're clearly regarded by the scientific community as a lady who shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. Yes. No, not a hack, but just, the general gist is there was a lot of sexism in the scientists.
No, you're not.
In these times.
Seriously?
It's like it's gone away, though. It's completely fine now. There's no such thing as sexism anymore.
Oh, I'm shocked.
So, yeah, that's like the sort of the side story that's going on at the same time as you just going around and solving these puzzles. And like each puzzle, well, not every single puzzle, but largely the puzzles are, you've got to find these seeds packets, and you've got to work out the way to grow the plant. And each plant requires certain conditions to make it grow. And there's little clues left around, like I say, in form of notes or visual clues, and you got to suss out the bits and bobs that help you to make the plant grow. And I've basically shown on the video stream the first one, but so I better stop the video before it goes into any more. But that is pretty straightforward, the first one. Super straightforward. But like, what is really good, I think, about it as a puzzle game is you get this, like, as you progress, you get more and more of your mana is unlocked. There's basically bits that are shut off to start with, so it keeps you in the area that you need to do to solve the puzzle. But obviously, the further you get in, your options are open as to how much of your mana you can explore. And so maybe you might find a clue that's a bit away from where you first picked up this seed that you've got to grow. But what it does is quite cleverly gives you a little hint that you might need to go back to such and such or whatever. It doesn't literally specifically tell you that. It just gives you a little nudge like, remember you saw that thing? And it could just stop you going, I found this thing and I can't remember where the fuck that thing was that I need to go and do now. So it's quite clever in giving you the little nudge to go this place, and you'll be able to move on to the next part of the game. Because that's kind of annoying sometimes when you're playing a puzzle game and you're like, I've got this clue that unlocked a load of thing that I was doing about 20 minutes ago, and now I can't remember where it was. I have still been found myself.
Your time.
Yeah, largely. I have still found myself getting a bit lost, going, fuck, I thought the thing was here, and I remembered. Well, I don't use the map in the game. There is a literal fucking map in the game that tells you where to go. And I was like, where's the fucking orchard? I was around this corner. Instead of just pulling up the map like a clever person, I was just wandering around and around the fucking manor. And I'm sure it was round here. I know it's not round here. I should have just gone, oh yeah, there's a map. I just pull the map up and go, right, I'm here. I just need to go there to get there. So yeah, it's all got the little things to not make it take fucking ages, basically, unless you're a thicko and forget that they're there. So yeah, it's really chill vibes, obviously. Like,
I keep seeing the reviews. Everyone goes, "Yeah, it's chilled out. It's chilled out. It's really chilled out.
Yeah, it's cool.
Calming."
Yeah, it's nice to just like when you want something to relax,
Yes,
but
please.
not completely shut off your brain. This is probably a good game. Botany Manor.
Game Pass.
On Game
Are you
Pass.
playing on Game Pass?
Yeah, I'm playing
Controller
Game Pass.
support.
I'm using mouse and keyboard on PC. I do believe it has full controller support 'cause it's on Xbox, so
Yes.
it has the full controllers.
I'm going to try that on Xbox then.
Yeah, so it's good so far.
Okay.
It's like I say, a little bit of history in there, relatively recent history.
Give that one a go for sure. No doubt about that. Then if it's on Game Pass,
it's perfect Game Pass game. Not too long. Not going to take hours and hours and hours, and hopefully at the end of it you'll go, yeah, that was cool. Because so far it's been, yeah, this is cool, and it's making me think a little bit. But it's not. I don't think anything's super hard. There's definitely like I say, usually it's like, here's all the tools you need to solve this problem, relatively close to you. Now you just got to put the pieces together, which shouldn't be too hard. And then at the end you go flower and go, yeah, that's cool.
nice.
Are they pretty flowers?
So far, there's little stories away. Yeah, there's it's good. It's good. I like if you like a puzzle game, this is a good one. So
Good.
check it out.
I will check that one out for sure.
What is it called? Botany
Manor.
On Game Pass. Or your platform of choice.
I don't know, honestly. It could be on PlayStation. I obviously don't know, but
It's
I
on
know
everything.
it is right. Okay, good.
Yeah. Good. All right. You're the last one with something on their list.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh yeah, the Hunt Bro Down. I've just been playing too much fucking Hunt.
We went places last night, didn't we?
Oh god, I was so frustrated. So frustrated. I don't know how it happened.
Just to set the scene. So we've been doing a lot of grinding. We play, generally we've been playing a lot with Matt. Most of the games that I've played anyway this week have been with you and Matt. And then you and I tend to push forward. We get killed and get crisped, and then Matt comes and picks us up, and we rinse and repeat. And it was getting fucking tiring, honestly, last night, to be fair. But Matt chipped off. He went off to bed. So you and I grabbed. It was like time to go aggro. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get the shotguns out.
And surprisingly, I mean, we play a good aggro game, Anyway, do you want to talk us through that biggie?
I can't even do it. I can't do it. It's too shameful. So basically, we'd got into a bit of a scrap. There was, we can't.
We'd already killed
really
a team.
tell. Yeah,
we'd already killed that guy, and then
you can never really tell what you're up against because it's not like Call of Duty or whatever when you pull a scoreboard up and you can see exactly how many people are on each team and all that bollocks. Like you don't know until the end how many players are in the game, how the team makeup is, or anything like that. If you're going in duos, you're either against twos or ones, unless you specifically click to play against trios. So there's only a maximum of 2 people in a team, but we'd had a few scraps, loads of shooting. You always hear stuff going on.
Well, a prime example is we fought that guy at the start, right?
Yeah.
And he killed me, you killed him, and both you and I could have sworn there was a second guy there.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we found out he was a solo.
Yeah.
So was the second guy just a third party,
or was it just me not hearing something properly?
Did he not even there? Right? You know.
So we ended up. The end game point for this particular game was we'd got to one of the. It's quite a large complex with a few buildings in and lots of ways to get around this area without being seen. You may be heard, but there's also It's called it's the mill, one of the mill areas basically. So there's this on one of the fucking big buildings. There's this massive water mill thing, and it generates quite a lot of noise in terms of like in this game. So anywhere in that vicinity, you can probably creep around and no one can hear you because this wheel is constantly like tick, 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 going around. And so that covers up a bit of noise. So when you're creeping around, no one's probably really going to hear you. But we'd had an exchange with this. We weren't really sure whether there's one or two people.
Heated exchange with another party.
Yeah. So
But you nailed one of them twice.
Was it now? You were like, were you outside the compound? What, keeping a watch? You were just outside, weren't you?
Yeah, I was out for a bit, and then I decided to wrap round to get the boss.
Yeah, well, before you got the boss, you were still outside, and I was like, I'd had a pop at somebody, and so they knew where I was roughly. And I'm not fucking going back near that window because they're going to just be watching that window. So I went out this back of this building. There was a like a doorway out the back end. So I went out the door, crept all the way around, and I was kept looking to see whether they could see me from where they were. And obviously Fraser can hear them because they're in this building. And you can hear people walking around inside and shit like that. And he kept saying, he's at this window again. He's at this window again. I was like, well, I can't see that window, so he can't see me. So I was creeping around this compound, and then there was a line of sight on another window in that building, and I fucking just like literally looked through I had a pistol it's got a big bullet in, but had a scope on the pistol, and I fucking nailed this guy out a window, which wasn't the same window that this other guy we think had been going to. And then he got up again, so I fucking nailed him again. So I'd nailed this guy twice. I was like, so he's obviously every time you die, if you get revived, you've lost a health chunk. That could be 25 health points or 50 health points, depends on how your health bars
It's significant anyway, right?
Yeah,
once you're a chunk down, things are not great. Because you're more vulnerable. Yeah,
you can die to a body shot, whereas it normally usually takes if you're at full health, it takes a headshot basically to kill you with any gun in the game. Instant one shot, doesn't it? Unless it's a shotgun, probably from like 5 yards.
You can still be you can still be headshot in the.
No, if you body shot someone with any gun in the game. There's no gun that will put you down in one shot.
The most you can do is
149.
I don't know if that's technically true. Well,
other than the shotguns.
Anyway, carry on.
So this guy's weak, obviously, even if he gets up again. I didn't see him again. Fraser's like, we've got to go and get the boss done, because this is all happening around the boss, who's like going around, stomping around, screaming like it's his scrap beak. So Fraser runs around the back, fucking gets in the boss, starts killing the boss.
So my reasoning behind here, for anyone who knows the game or is interested, when you banish a boss, when you kill a boss and banish him, you get full health back.
Yeah.
So my reasoning was, we need to get that boss banished, because if they get to the boss and banish it, they're going to get all their health back, and we're going to lose that advantage. And I was a chunk down anyway as well from a previous downing. So I ran in there and I was like, I got to get this boss down as quickly as possible. And then as soon as I started the boss, I knew that they knew I was doing that. And so I shouted to Neil, we got to get this boss down as quickly as possible. And do you want to take it from there?
Well, so you did a good old chunk of damage on that boss. I can't really remember how, because I've had.
I threw a sticky bomb on him, which killed him. So but then
did you kill him?
No, and then I went in and I had to finish him off with my gun, my pistol.
Yeah. So I was watching where these other guys were while Fraser's doing the dirty work, and I was like, then I see the guy jump out the window and start pushing. I'm like, right, he's on his way. He's coming in. He's like, yeah, no. It all starts kicking off. And he's like, so I can't remember then whether you'd actually killed the boss. Did you get to kill him? I killed
the boss and I banished him just in time.
Just in time.
But as soon as I banished the boss, he comes into the building and chops my head off with a katana.
Which is a relatively recent addition weapon-wise to the game.
Yeah, and then you see anyone with a katana, you have to run a million miles away.
Unless you've got a shotgun.
So deadly. Unless you have a shotgun.
Right.
What did you have?
I had a sawn-off shotgun. They called it a terminus hand cannon. And I had a trait called levering, which means you can fucking go bang, 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 bang with a really powerful shotgun. But only works over about 8 meters. So Fraser's dropped just in. I'm on the outside of the building, right next to this fucking door, and Fraser's dropped just inside the fucking door to the left, and he's like, "It's getting a bit heated." So
Yeah.
I'm like,
He
he's like,
would
"You've
have
got to
had
kill him! You've got to kill him! He's got to get down! He's got!" Because I'm going to get him! I'm going to get him! And I'm just waiting there for him to come out the fucking door, and I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. I don't know what combination of brain impulses happened to make my fingers press Alt-Tab, which on
What?
PC means you fucking move from that window to another window. And I was like, what the fuck, I've Alt-Tabbed! And I couldn't get back to the fucking Hunt Showdown, and by the time I was like, I'm fucking dead. In the
I was
background, I
watching,
couldn't
and
watch
I'm
it, and I was
watching
just like,
Neil's
"Oh,"
screen.
just
and I'm
stand
just
there,
like-
watch this guy come and katana me in the face
and
while
he
I'm
just puts
pointing a
his,
shotgun.
it was like, yeah, it was like you just suddenly put your weapon down and let the guy kill you. Like you just like, come and take me.
Yeah, I was just like, for fuck!
Yeah,
I was going to fucking nail that guy so bad. As soon as he come through the door, I'd have just been like, bang, dead.
Yeah. Nah,
And we'd have won that epic fight, and it would have been like,
yeah,
yes,
straight
boys,
away.
we did it.
Yeah,
and
it was
instead
rage.
was
It was
shame.
slightly. You were raging. I was very disappointed.
I don't think I raged exactly. I was just massively disappointed in myself. I
Oh
was
yeah,
just like,
you
oh.
didn't rage. Rage is the
I
wrong
was just
word.
like, oh,
yeah,
for fuck's sake.
you were annoyed. You were really annoyed.
So I knew we had it in the bag there. I was like, I know. As soon as he comes through that door, I'm just going to go bang, and he's going to be dead.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about this game. Like, if I find it the most, and it's fair enough, and we had a laugh about it afterwards, right? We did get through. I mean, it was so ridiculous that, and the funny thing is, I think that's the most annoying thing about it, right? Is that we'd killed 5 people, and so technically we
Up
had
until that point, we'd actually played quite well.
We'd played really well, and we'd had a good game. Yeah, it's when you lose the stuff you don't think you shouldn't be losing. That's what really grinds my gears in this game, right? So
good job you were battered. Otherwise, you'd have been really telling me off.
I think the fact that you were really pissed off with yourself is enough for me, right? It was like, yeah, he knows he fucked up, right? And then I told you fucked up and was making a joke about it. It was really funny.
So yeah, I don't know. Totally, I couldn't sleep properly last night. I went to bed thinking about it. I was just,
oh no, yeah. No. But what I really would like to do is get back out there and play more aggro games. It's fucking, that's the way to go, right? It's fun.
Much more fun. Like as
In
much as
duos
I
is
appreciate being revived and keeping my hunter, I'm not that bothered about it. It doesn't really, like, if my guy dies, I'd much rather just everyone fucking died and we cracked on with another game.
Yeah, I mean we've gone over this ad nausea, right? I think when you're playing 3 ways, you have to understand that play styles are different, and it's sometimes very difficult to get on the same page. I think with duos, it's very easy to get on the same page with a partner, and I want to go full. I want to play some games this weekend where we're getting stuck in, and
yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to take my vengeance upon those in the game.
Yeah, Dave,
for my own shenanigans.
We should go on a seal rampage. Pile up the dead hunters.
Yeah, because you're actually good at games, Dave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The thing is, if you play a game, if you play the aggro, if you go in and you know you're playing the aggro game, if you get killed on your first encounter, good. Rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat. Just keep going over and over. The problem when we're playing with sometimes with the revive system is that you get killed and then you spend 20 minutes waiting for the revive, and that's just dead time. And I just can't do that over and over and over. I can do it a couple of times in the pursuit of a prestige or something, but I can't do it over and over.
That's we've got different aims in the game at the moment.
Yeah, very different.
Like
I'm a little bit mixed.
I'm 0 prestige. I have never prestige. When you prestige in this game, you lose all the guns that you and traits you've built up access to over however long you've played the game for. You go back to level 1 and you lose access to fucking so much. I've got everything. I'm locked in the game, and I'm like, I don't really want to lose access to everything. So for me, I'm like, I've got a shitty badge. When I die, people go look at my shitty badge and go, oh, he's got his shitty badge. But I don't give a fuck because I've got all the cool guns. And if I want to play with a crossbow, I can play with a crossbow. If I want to go with the stupid Avtomat, which fires a 3-round burst and is ridiculous, and I'm absolutely shit with it.
It's expensive and it's trash anyway.
Yeah. I can use that if I really want to, but I don't want to. But like other people are obsessed with getting the prestige, because at the moment it's possible to really quickly level through the bloodline, which gets you to the next prestige.
If you concentrate right now, you can prestige in
1 or 2
Easy
days.
2 days, maybe maybe a day at a push.
So
but
you
2
can
days.
like this thing's on for like 50 days. You could go up potentially like 40 levels of prestige in the time that this event's on. Whereas I will still be at level 0 at the end of the event. So that
Yeah, and I've enjoyed it. I hit prestige level 40, so I made a I
a
got
milestone.
to a point and I really wanted to. I'd like to get to 50, and I will get to 50 at some point, but I'm not. But I can't grind that prestige. Like it's just
It demands a way of playing.
It demands a way of playing. It demands a level of concentration and discipline as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, but yeah, some aggro games would be nice, please. Yes, thank you very much.
Well, you know where to come for aggro games.
Good. Duos when it's all kicking off is just brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, it gets super intense. It definitely, I still get
especially
that.
when you're on the same page, right? And you know how
Yeah.
to cover each other, and you know how to work as a good team. It just there's nothing like it, right? That's because that's the advantage you're going to have over young, good shots. Like if you come up against if you come up against a team that's young and they're really good and they have excellent teamwork, yeah, you're going to be fucking wiped. But they're going to be up into the higher MMRs anyway. But if you come up against a team, see, all it can do is really base it on your your KDs and your MMR. So if you pile in up the dead hunters, but you're still a good team, right, and not that great a shot, you can still have some great games, right, every now and then. So
yes,
it's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, best game ever made.
How do we know about that one?
Someone started playing it. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, can't remember. All right, is that us done then?
I think so.
Neil's great, by the way, just in case you were wondering what that last bit was about. Neil's the best.
They're great for unearthing these gems.
I'm putting Hunt away for Botany Manor.
I don't know. You can play both. That's what I've been doing this last week. Is play both. Definitely different vibes in those games.
Right, so can we finish up then? I'm going to go have some dinner.
Yeah, so we didn't mention it at the beginning. The whole Acast thing has happened.
No, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we don't actually need to re-record or put anything in the start, but
hopefully people have noticed that, or haven't noticed. If they haven't noticed, it's probably the best. But you may have noticed there's a new tag at the end of the podcast description.
I may cut and paste this bit and put it into the start, so it doesn't. But it's going to make no sense.
Let's just make a new bit that's better than this. Probably it would be fair.
Maybe. All right, Dave, do you want to do your bit?
I will do my bit. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions and get involved, please contact us either via email at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on YouTube at Seal Podcast, on X at Seal Podcast. And we don't have Podbean anymore, so I don't know if Acast has something.
I think the description is still on there, the same description that was on Podbean, so there should still be a link to the Discord there.
A description will be in the description of the podcast of your listening choice.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we need to remember to talk about this at the start of the next episode. But basically,
yes. Yeah, we need to. But that's fine. Check us out on YouTube. We're there. Check us out. We upload to there. We've got all the details in there. It's at Seal Podcast. I don't think we've got any
no chatters
lives.
Tonight.
No chatters. Sans chatters. So yeah, that's it really.
That's all right. Okay, good.
The show.
Thank you guys for accommodating my late start. I appreciate it. Sorry, I got a couple of derails from work. Thank you to the.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, I just remembered. I forgot to talk about the motorcycle racing I went to. I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll put it in the
put it on
thing.
Put it in the notes for next week then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something, isn't there? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to hear about that. Good.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, we got that to look forward to then.
That'll be something to look forward to.
Something, yeah, for once. All right.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon. Thank you.